Ladies and gentlemen of the XRP community, consider this. On November 27th, 2025, XRP exchange reserves on Binance have reached a 12-month low of 2.71 billion tokens, according to on-chain data from CryptoQuant. Meanwhile, newly launched US spot XRP ETFs reported over 80 million XRP tokens absorbed in their first 24 hours, equating to roughly $160 million, at current prices around $2.21. Grayscale and Franklin Templeton ETFs alone accounted for $130 million in inflows, pushing total assets under management to $778 million. These developments have sparked widespread discussion on X about potential supply dynamics for XRP. Today, I'm breaking down the facts behind the buzz, drawing from real-time posts and data to provide a clear educational analysis. Stay with me as we explore what this means for XRP's market structure. Before we proceed, a clear disclaimer. This is not financial advice. I'm Leo, sharing objective insights based on public market data and community discussions. Always conduct your own research and consult professionals before making any decisions. To start, what is a supply shock in the context of cryptocurrencies like XRP? It's a scenario where available supply decreases relative to demand, often leading to price volatility. XRP's total supply is fixed at 100 billion tokens, with approximately 56.7 billion in circulation as of today. Ripple's escrow holds over 40 billion, releasing about 1 billion monthly, though most is relocked or used for operations. This leaves a relatively small liquid supply, around 2 to 2.5 billion tokens on major exchanges for daily trading. Recent ETF launches add a new layer. These funds, including those from Canary, Bitwise, Grayscale, and Franklin Templeton, must acquire actual XRP tokens on the open market to back their shares, as they cannot directly access Ripple's escrow. Data shows $622 million in total ETF inflows over the past 13 days, locking away hundreds of millions of tokens. For instance, a post from R. Rory Crave today details 2.71B XRP tokens remaining on Binance, Nov 27, 300 mem XRP withdrawn since early October, 670 million plus ETF net inflows in 9 consecutive days. This highlights how institutional demand through regulated products is reducing exchange liquidity. Let's integrate more from today's X conversations for a fuller picture. The crypto basic shared XRP reserve on Binance is plummeting, suggesting accumulation CryptoQuant. This thread, with over 41,000 views, points to a 15% drop in reserves over 2 weeks, aligning with ETF activity. Similarly, our Saint Ace AI noted, XRP ETFs just soaked up 80 Meta tokens of 160 Meta plus in 24 hours on launch day. Grayscale Plus, Franklin Templeton alone pulled 130, AUM now 778 Metas. With 174 likes and 62 reposts, it's clear the community is tracking these flows closely. These aren't isolated opinions. They reflect on-chain metrics showing withdrawals into long-term custody. But why focus on exchange reserves? Historically, shrinking balances precede market shifts, as less liquid supply can amplify price movements. Meringian007 echoed this. Like I said a million times, XRP supply shock is coming. In response to the CryptoQuant data, garnering 142 likes. For clarity, think of it like a reservoir. The total water is fixed, but if large pumps, ETFs, draw from the accessible pool faster than it refills, the level drops, affecting availability. Now, a mini cliffhanger. What happens when more ETFs join? 9 additional funds are slated to launch soon, per discussions like RO MJB38's post. XRP supply shock is here, 329 minutes locked in ETFs today, 1B plus by year-end, as 9 more funds launch this week. Only about 60B truly circulating. This assumes continued inflows, based on current trends. On the global front, integrations like those with banks for remittances further underscore XRP's utility in payments, settling transactions in seconds for minimal fees. To keep this grounded, let's examine the price chart objectively. XRP is consolidating in a bull flag pattern around $2.21, with trading volume up 40% today amid ETF news. Technical indicators like RSI at 62 suggest room for movement without overbought conditions. A Bull Runners HQ shared a video comparing this to Bitcoin's pre-ETF phase. Bitcoin before and after JP Morgan MSTR announcement, there XRP supply shock incoming, drawing parallels to how Bitcoin supply tightened post-approvals. Rhetorical question. If Bitcoin's ETFs absorbed 1% of supply and led to significant gains, how might XRP's thinner liquidity, under 3% of total supply on exchanges, respond to similar pressures? Analysts like AG Wealth calculate, if we assume 6M XRP purchased daily per ETF X12 funds, that's 18.7 B XRP per year, meaning the entire 54.5 B circulating supply gets consumed in 2.9 years. This is a hypothetical based on linear extrapolation, not a guarantee. Shifting to counter common misconceptions. Many on X question if ETFs truly impact spot prices. Fact. Inflows require real token purchases, as confirmed by reports from CoinGape. XRP supply on exchanges is crashing as institutional demand spikes. Unlike derivatives, these are spot products locking assets in custody. Another myth, Ripple's escrow dominates supply. In reality, monthly releases are modest, 200-300 million sold, and increasingly absorbed by ETF demand per stack XRP daily. The real XRP supply shock won't come from hype, it'll come from liquidity disappearing while institutions quietly load up. Addressing doubts about timing, Adonis Coxey posted, 80 mem XRP absorbed on day one, and people still ask why price hasn't moved. Supply is tightening under the surface. The repricing phase never gives a warning. This aligns with accumulation patterns seen in other assets. For those concerned about centralization, XRP's design promotes utility over speculation, with escrow preventing large dumps. One more insight from Oz Mason Black Crypto's beginner-friendly thread. Imagine XRP like pay-per-view tickets. Total tickets printed, 100 billion. Tickets locked in a vault, 60 plus billion. Tickets actually available on exchanges, only 2.5 billion. 4 brand new US XRP ETFs just opened this week, and on day one they already vacuumed up. You see 79 million XRP. That's roughly 3 to 4% of all the XRP that was freely sitting on exchanges in just one day. This simple analogy, with over 200 views, illustrates the mechanics without exaggeration. In summary, today's data and discussions, from plummeting reserves to ETF absorptions, point to evolving supply dynamics for XRP. This is a structural shift toward institutional integration, as noted in threads like Robert XRPFFs. The speed of these XRP ETF inflows is unbelievable. Every creation unit removes XRP from circulation and locks it into non-selling baskets. Whether this leads to volatility or stability remains to be seen, but the facts are unfolding in real time. If this analysis sparked your interest, like the video to help spread the discussion. Comment below with your thoughts on XRP's supply trends. What data stands out to you? Subscribe for more breakdowns of crypto market structures and share with fellow researchers. Thanks for joining me, Leo signing off. Keep exploring with an open mind.